Half a teaspoon. That's all it takes to match the power of ibuprofen. Sounds impossible, right? But wait until you hear what this is. And no, it's not what you think. Before you skip ahead, I need to show you something that could change how you deal with pain forever. I'm talking about concentrated turmeric, specifically the compound inside it called curcumin. Now hold on, I'm not talking about that yellow powder sitting in your spice rack. That won't do what I'm about to reveal. Let me break this down in the simplest way possible, because most videos overcomplicate this with fancy science terms you don't need. Think of inflammation in your body like 4 master switches, 4 dials that either turn pain up or down. That's it. Simple, right? The first dial is your pain factory, literally producing those signals that make you hurt. The second one, that's the master on switch for inflammation, controlling hundreds of genes at once. It's like the main circuit breaker for your entire inflammatory system. Then you've got dial 3, the inflammation megaphone. This one doesn't cause pain directly, it just amplifies everything, keeping inflammation screaming long after it should have stopped. That's why autoimmune drugs focus so heavily on this pathway. And finally, dial 4, the backup alarm that keeps blaring even after the fire's out. This one's crucial for asthma and autoimmune conditions. Now here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about ibuprofen. Yeah, it works fast on that first dial, shutting down pain and inflammation quickly. But here's what they don't tell you. That same process protects your stomach and kidneys, so when ibuprofen blocks it, you risk stomach ulcers and kidney damage. And get this, ibuprofen only touches 1 dial. It completely ignores the other 3 switches. That's why you keep popping pills over and over, because the inflammation keeps coming back. Want to know something shocking? Tylenol doesn't even touch any of these dials. It just tricks your brain into not feeling the pain. Zero effect on actual inflammation. And aspirin, same story, only works on 1 pathway and tears up your stomach lining in the process. People literally bleed internally from aspirin use. But turmeric, this is where things get wild. Turmeric takes a completely different approach. It doesn't just hit 1 switch, it affects 3 of them simultaneously. Now it's not as strong on each individual pathway, but it's turning down multiple dials at once. The research I'm about to share tested 1,500 milligrams of curcumin with black pepper, because black pepper supercharges the absorption. Just half a teaspoon of this extract matched ibuprofen's effects. Listen to this study. Randomized, controlled, double-blind, 367 people, peer-reviewed, published, and tested on actual humans, not lab mice. The results? Concentrated turmeric curcumin at 1,500 milligrams performed comparably to ibuprofen. But here's the game changer, without any of those nasty side effects. And there's more you need to know. Extra virgin olive oil mimics ibuprofen at the molecular level. Not as powerful, but it definitely turns down that dial. You know that little throat tingle you get from real extra virgin olive oil? Liquid ibuprofen does the exact same thing. Mind-blowing, right? Ginger is another secret weapon that barely gets the recognition it deserves. It specifically targets that amplifier pathway, the inflammation megaphone. And omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil and cod liver oil, they work on the same pathway, reducing that inflammatory amplification. Turmeric hits this pathway too, which is why people with autoimmune diseases swear by it. It literally quiets the megaphone. Now let's talk about that backup alarm system, the 5-LOX pathway. Even when you shut down the other switches, this one can still activate. There's an herb called boswellia that specifically targets this pathway. So now you know exactly where each natural remedy fits in the inflammation puzzle. But wait, I need to answer the bigger question. We've talked about turning off pain signals, but what turned them on in the first place? What's the root cause? This part is actually more important than everything I just told you, because if you know what triggers these switches, you don't just manage pain, you eliminate it completely. Medicine doesn't focus on this part. They just want to sell you pills. 5 primary triggers activate all 4 inflammatory pathways. Ready? Number 1. Insulin resistance from eating too many carbs and sugars, snacking constantly, and consuming seed oils. People with insulin resistance live in chronic pain. Number 2, mitochondrial damage from smoking, junk food, overtraining, poor sleep, or sitting all day. Number 3, chronic oxidative stress from toxins, alcohol, smoking, and processed foods. Number 4, leaky gut from those same processed foods, gluten, and seed oils. And number 5, chronic infections like Lyme disease or viruses like Epstein-Barr that flare up during stress. Here's what's crazy. These 5 things turn on those switches, and medicine just gives you pills with side effects while ignoring the actual problem. We're missing the entire point. So how do you fix this? Low-carb diet to reverse insulin resistance. Cut out ultra-processed junk foods completely. Start intermittent fasting. This is probably the most powerful anti-inflammatory tool you have access to. Your inflammation just vanishes. Your arthritis disappears. Extended fasting is the next level. I've seen people with severe autoimmune conditions completely eliminate inflammation through prolonged fasting. Don't forget your nutrients either. Magnesium reduces muscle inflammation. Vitamin D is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatories, and deficiency guarantees inflammation. Same with zinc and omega-3 fatty acids. Too many omega-6s from seed oils and not enough omega-3s? Recipe for chronic inflammation. Look, I've given you the knowledge. Now you can either keep reaching for pills that mask symptoms and damage your organs, or you can address the root cause and actually fix the problem. The choice is yours. If this opened your eyes to what's really happening in your body, smash that like button right now. Drop a comment telling me which natural remedy you're going to try first. And subscribe, because I'm breaking down more health myths that the medical industry doesn't want you to know about. Your body deserves better than Band-Aid solutions. Let's fix this together. See you in the next one.